Have you ever looked at your life and thought, why am I still stuck? Why does everyone seem to be moving faster than me? Why is my dream still so far away? Why is my healing, growth, or success taking so long? We often hear that time is money, and we all want success to come quickly. But sometimes, rushing the process leads to burnout, mistakes, and missed opportunities. Today, we're talking about the power of slow and steady progress. It might seem frustrating to move at a slower pace, but let me tell you, slow progress is still progress. And that's what truly matters. If you're feeling stuck or like your efforts are going unnoticed, remember this. Every step forward, no matter how small, counts. The road to success isn't a sprint. It's a marathon. So let's explore how embracing the slow process can lead to greater, more lasting success in the end. When progress is slow, it teaches you to show up anyway. It trains your emotional muscles, discipline, patience, and consistency. These are the qualities that fast success often skips, but which sustain you when things get hard again. Endurance isn't built in comfort. It's built when you keep going, even when it feels like nothing is changing. Slow growth creates mental toughness. You learn to trust yourself more. You build the strength to keep going, not just when you're motivated, but even when you're tired, uncertain, or feeling invisible. Think of it like walking up a steep mountain. You may not sprint, but every step builds a kind of strength that lasts. When was the last time you kept going, even when no one clapped? What did that teach you about your own strength? Sometimes, the fastest way is actually the one that burns you out before the finish line. When we rush toward success, we tend to take shortcuts that skip important lessons, overwork ourselves trying to catch up, say yes to everything without boundaries. This leads to burnout, and with it comes frustration, confusion, and deep regret, because we realize we built something we can't even maintain. But when progress is slow, you move with intention. You're more likely to take breaks, rest when needed, and reflect as you go. That gives you time to align your journey with your values, your health, and your real goals. You don't just arrive, you arrive whole. Have you ever burned out chasing something too fast? What would have changed if you gave yourself more grace and time? When you grow slowly, you see more, you learn more, you become more. Fast success might give you the prize, but slow growth gives you wisdom. It allows you to reflect on your mistakes without being overwhelmed. Understand your craft, your purpose, or your path deeply. Notice what's working and what's not, and adjust. Appreciate each small step, each improvement, and each milestone. This kind of growth transforms your mindset. It's no longer about getting there quickly, but about becoming the kind of person who's ready when you get there. You stop asking, why is it taking so long? And start asking, what am I learning while I wait? What valuable lesson have you learned from going slow? How would that lesson have been missed if everything had happened fast? Quick success can be exciting, but lasting success is built brick by brick. Look at the strongest buildings, the deepest relationships, the most inspiring people. They weren't created overnight. They took years, sometimes decades. Why? Because anything that's going to stand the test of time needs a solid foundation, a clear vision, a process that's not rushed. Quick success can fall apart just as quickly because you didn't have time to build a character and clarity needed to sustain it. Real, meaningful success grows with you. It matures as you mature. You don't want just fast wins. You want wins that you can carry with joy, peace, and confidence. What kind of success do you really want? Fast or lasting? What would it look like to trust your pace, even when it feels slow? Slow progress is a gift in disguise. It teaches you to trust the process, to show up for yourself, to build something worth keeping. So, if you're feeling stuck or left behind, pause and remember, you are not failing. You are forging strength in the fire of patience. It's better to move slowly in the right direction than to run fast towards something that won't last. Great things are not done by impulse, but by a series of small things brought together. Vincent van Gogh. Let's start with something simple yet frustrating. Learning. Whether you're trying to speak a new language, learn to paint, master an instrument, or get into shape, it doesn't happen overnight. At first, it's awkward. You make mistakes. You feel like you're wasting time. You see others doing it better and faster. And then the doubt kicks in. But here's the truth. Every master was once a beginner. Every fluent speaker once stumbled over their first sentence. Every fit person once struggled with a single push-up. Every artist had blank pages and failed sketches. Progress happens in layers. One word remembered, one drawing slightly better, one workout where you didn't give up. These might not seem like breakthroughs, but add them up over weeks, months, years, and you'll be amazed at who you become. So when you're learning something new, be kind to yourself. Progress might be slow, but it's real. Healing is not about becoming the person you were before. It's about embracing who you are now. Now let's talk about something even deeper. Healing. You've been through things. Painful things. Things you don't talk about often. Maybe someone hurt you, left you, or broke your trust. Maybe you lost something you loved, or someone you couldn't live without. Here's the part most people don't say out loud. Healing is messy. Some days you feel strong. Other days you cry for no reason. You think you've moved on, and suddenly the past pulls you back. And that's okay. Healing doesn't move in a straight line. There are no shortcuts, no magic timelines. It takes time to understand your pain, unlearn harmful patterns, rebuild your self-worth, forgive yourself or others. And even when you feel like nothing is changing, deep inside, your heart is learning to trust again, to breathe again. So be patient with your wounds. They're not a sign of weakness. They're a sign you're human. Even slow healing is still healing. You can't rush intimacy. It takes time to be seen, to be known, and to be loved for who you are. Real relationships, ones built on trust, depth, and honesty, don't just appear. They're not built on surface-level conversations or a few fun hangouts. They take time. It takes time to understand another person's story, show up for them during hard times, earn their trust, and let them earn yours. Apologize, forgive, grow, repeat. If you ever felt lonely or wonder why real connections feel rare, just remember, authentic bonds grow slowly. You might not click with everyone immediately. That's okay. And if you've been hurt in the past, it's even harder to open up again. That's okay too. The key is to be consistent, to listen, to show up not perfectly but genuinely. Because when you take time to build slowly, you're laying the kind of foundation that doesn't crumble during storms. Fast friendships might fade, but slow-built ones can last a lifetime. The best things in life aren't instant. They're earned through patience, effort, and grace. Let's bring it all together with three of the most desired but misunderstood forms of growth. Everyone wants money fast, quick riches, side hustles that blow up overnight. But here's what rarely gets shown. Real financial stability is built over time, saving slowly, budgeting wisely, investing in your knowledge, delaying gratification. Most millionaires didn't make it at 20. They stayed consistent, disciplined, and strategic. Even if you're just saving a little now, it matters. Slow money is still money. If you're an entrepreneur or creator, you've probably had days where no one noticed your work. No sales, no likes, no views. But those slow days are building your foundation. You're learning what works. You're improving your craft. You're building trust with your audience. Overnight success is a myth. Even viral creators have years of unseen effort behind them. So if your business is growing slowly, celebrate that, because it means it's growing right. Let's not forget your mind. You can't always see your progress in this area, but that doesn't mean it's not happening. Getting out of bed when you're depressed? Progress. Saying no to something toxic? Progress. Taking a break to breathe? Progress. Mental strength is built like a muscle. Tiny choices, daily battles, silent victories. So if all you did today was keep going, you've already won something. The process may be slow, but it's never without purpose. Growth is not always loud or visible, but slow growth often leads to the deepest transformation. Be proud of your small steps, because even small steps done daily take you miles ahead of where you were yesterday. Have you ever scrolled through your feed and suddenly felt like you're not doing enough? Like someone younger than you is already a millionaire. Someone your age just bought a house. Someone who started last year is now teaching others how to succeed. You sit there thinking, what am I doing wrong? Why am I still so far behind? Here's the truth that rarely gets talked about. Most of what you see online is a highlight reel, not the full story. That person who blew up overnight, you didn't see the 6 years of failure before that one lucky break. The entrepreneur posting their dream life, you miss the breakdowns, debt, and silent prayers that came first. But social media doesn't show the sweat. It only shows the shine. And that creates a dangerous illusion. The illusion that success should be fast, flashy, and easy. But real life doesn't work like that. One of the worst things we do is compare our raw, unedited journey to someone else's perfectly filtered moment. You're comparing your chapter 2 to someone else's chapter 20, and then feeling like a failure. But let me ask you, would you judge a baby learning to walk just because someone else is already running? Of course not. So why do we judge ourselves for being in progress? Real growth is rarely loud. It doesn't come with applause, likes, or instant rewards. Sometimes it looks like tears in the dark, like starting again when no one is watching, like choosing discipline over dopamine. True change happens in the quiet places, when you stay consistent even when nothing is changing, yet something inside you is. You don't always notice the shift, but every small decision is shaping the person you're becoming. Think of the tallest tree you've ever seen. It didn't spring up in a day. It didn't rush. It didn't compare itself to the one beside it. It took years of silent growth. Roots had to dig deep. Storms had to be endured. Seasons of stillness had to pass. And that's how you're growing too. Slow progress doesn't mean no progress. It means your roots are getting deeper. Your foundation is getting stronger, so that when your season of fruit finally comes, it won't fade. It will last. So, the next time you feel behind, remind yourself, you are not late. You are not slow. You are just becoming. And becoming takes time. The illusion of speed is just that, an illusion. Real progress takes patience, peace, and presence. Let's be honest, we all want results. Fast. We want our businesses to grow overnight. We want our bodies to transform in weeks. We want to heal emotionally in days. But here's the truth. When you rush, you tend to cut corners. You skip the learning part and aim for the reward. You focus on finishing fast, not building well. You ignore warning signs, mental, physical, or emotional, because you just want to get there. And what happens when the shortcuts don't work? You fall. You feel ashamed. And most times you quit. But it wasn't because you couldn't do it. It was because you were trying to do it too quickly. Fast progress isn't always real progress. If it can't last, then it probably wasn't built right. Let's break this down with a simple truth. Consistency, no matter how slow, is better than restarting over and over again. Why? Because every time you quit, you're not just losing time. You're also damaging your own belief in yourself. You start thinking, maybe I'm not good enough. Maybe this just isn't for me. Why can't I keep going like others do? But the problem isn't you. It's that you're expecting progress to be quick, easy, and smooth. And that's rarely how life works. It's okay to go slow. It's okay to pause and breathe. But quitting out of frustration and then restarting out of guilt over and over again can keep you stuck in a painful loop. Instead of trying to leap, try walking. Walking won't make you tired. Walking gives you time to learn, adjust, and grow. Walking is sustainable. And most importantly, walking means you're still moving. Here's something people don't talk about enough. What grows too fast often breaks just as fast. Think of a house built in a day. Would you trust a foundation? Think of a relationship that moves from hello to I love you in a week. Can it really be deep? Speed without strength leads to weakness. Let's take a tree, for example. A fast-growing plant may sprout quickly, but it has shallow roots. One storm can wipe it out. But the tree that grows slow, its roots go deep. Its trunk thickens over time. It weathers seasons. It bends but doesn't break. Your goals are no different. If you want something that lasts, whether it's peace, a career, a business, or healing, you have to let it grow at its natural pace. Fast success might look good for the moment, but slow success? That's what stays. If you're watching this and feeling like you're behind, please take a breath. You're not failing. You're just human. And progress, even if slow, is still progress. Don't fear slowness. Fear rushing without foundation. Don't feel ashamed of taking your time. Feel proud that you haven't quit. Don't look sideways at others' speed. Stay focused on your own lane. Because what's the point of getting there fast? If you can't stay there long, let's be honest. The hardest part chasing your dream, healing your heart, or building anything worthwhile isn't always the beginning. It's the middle, that quiet, dry, often invisible middle where nothing seems to be happening, where motivation feels like a joke, where you're tempted to stop because your progress feels too slow to matter. But that's exactly where most people give up. Not because they couldn't do it, but because they didn't know how to stay mentally alive when things move slowly. Here are 4 gentle but powerful ways to keep going, even when it feels like you're crawling. Progress feels invisible when you don't stop to notice it. So many people quit their journey because they only celebrate the big moments. The job offer, the weight loss goal, the degree, the 6 figures. But what about the small wins? That day you said no to something that used to break you. That one sale. That 1 hour you showed up to work on your dream when you didn't feel like it. That one day you didn't give up. These are victories. And when you write them down, track them, or even say them out loud, they become proof. You're moving. Slowly maybe, but steadily. Start a victory journal. Write down 1 small win each day. At the end of the week, read through it. Let it remind you that you're growing, even when it doesn't feel like it. Big goals are inspiring, but they can also be overwhelming. Let's say your dream is to write a book. That's great, but if you keep staring at write 300 pages, you'll freeze. Instead, focus on write 1 paragraph today. Just brainstorm 5 chapter ideas. Spend 15 minutes writing before bed. Small, micro steps remove fear from the process. And each micro step gives your brain a dose of progress, that mental dopamine hit that says, I did something today. Reminder, a journey 1,000 miles doesn't just begin with a single step. It continues with them. Use a checklist. Break your goal into weekly tasks that feel manageable. Celebrate checking 1 thing off. That momentum compounds over time. When progress is slow, it's easy to forget why you even started. That's why your vision must stay visible. A vision board isn't just a bunch of pretty pictures. It's a mental compass. It reminds you who you want to become, what kind of life you're building, what peace, success, or healing actually looks like, and more importantly, it brings emotion back into your process. Because without emotion, your journey becomes mechanical and lifeless. Make a digital vision board and set it as your phone wallpaper. Include images, words, quotes, and even photos of people you love. Revisit it every morning for 60 seconds, just enough to reignite your passion. Pair your vision with your why. Why are you really doing this? Is it to break a cycle in your family? To prove something to yourself? To live freely and fully? When the how gets frustrating, the why keeps you grounded. Nothing kills motivation faster than isolation, or worse, being surrounded by the wrong crowd. If everyone around you only celebrates fast wins, they'll make you feel behind. If your circle doesn't value process, they'll mock your patience. If they don't understand what it means to build, heal, or grow, they'll never understand your silence, your discipline, or your struggle. That's why you need people who clap for you even when you're crawling. Understand that 1 step forward is still movement, aren't in a rush to arrive, but are committed to walking with purpose. Follow creators, communities, and mentors who speak to your current season. Share your progress with 1 trusted friend who celebrates effort, not just results. Avoid spaces that make you feel late or less. Slow seasons are not dead seasons. They're preparing seasons. You're not behind. You're just becoming. So if all you did today was take 1 tiny step, you didn't fail. You're still in the game. And trust me, one day you'll look back and thank yourself for not quitting just because it was slow. A rock is hard, strong, unmoving, but water, soft, slow, and gentle, keeps flowing. It doesn't shout. It doesn't rush. It just keeps moving, one drop at a time. Over days, weeks, years, that water breaks down the hardest rock. What does that tell us about life? You don't have to be the strongest. You don't need to be the fastest. What truly matters is that you keep going, even when it feels small, even when nobody sees it. That gentle consistency, that quiet persistence, is what eventually shapes your future. What's one area in your life where you can just keep flowing, even if it feels slow? We live in a world where speed is celebrated. Everyone wants instant results. Quick success, fast healing, rapid growth. But real life? It's rarely like that. Your pace doesn't disqualify your journey. Whether you're crawling, walking, or running, the key is not stopping. Even if you take one tiny step forward each day, you're still moving. You're still changing. And that's powerful. Someone who walks slowly for a year will still go farther than someone who sprinted for a week and then gave up. Are you being hard on yourself because you're not moving fast? Or can you give yourself credit for still moving at all? Perfection is a trap. It tells you that you're not good enough until you reach a flawless result. But progress says, you're growing, you're learning, and that's worth celebrating. We all mess up, we all fall short, but that doesn't mean we've failed. The goal isn't to be perfect. The goal is to be better than yesterday. Every little effort matters. Every try counts. Even when no one claps, even when it's messy, even when it's not ideal, progress means you got out of bed today when you didn't feel like it. You saved a little money, even if it wasn't much. You apologized, you tried again, you didn't give up. That's what winning looks like in real life. What tiny progress have you made that you haven't given yourself credit for yet? Don't let the world rush you. Don't measure your life by someone else's timeline. A slow step is still a step forward. Your persistence, your courage to keep going, and your commitment to progress, not perfection, is what will carry you to the future you dream of. Remember, slow progress is better than no progress. Every small step you take brings you closer to your goals. Progress doesn't have to be fast to be valuable. Slow and steady wins the race. Every small step forward counts, and that's what truly matters. Keep pushing, no matter the pace. If you found this video helpful, don't forget to like, subscribe, and share. Until next time, keep going, because even slow progress is progress. Take care.